So let's check over the ledger and see who won this campaign. So I think it's safe to say who is number one. California is still number one, but look at this. This is the interesting thing. Estado Mexico, they're at 451. Not too far behind. California certainly dropped quite a bit when it came to the last time we checked on the ledger. That was the interesting thing, and that was actually an accident showing you guys that. And then Ontario was here too, because remember I opened up the ledger and then boom, it was already there because I wanted to check. But it was good that we did that, because now everyone can see, you know, how far California dropped. And I don't think they really dropped that much. I think a lot of people passed them up, first of all, because of the colonization in Europe and stuff like that. But especially Estado Mexico and especially Ontario, as of the last video, gained a lot of strength. It's really, really unfortunate that we have to end the campaign here. Victoria not too far behind. There's Indiana, who I thought I'd really like to give the victory to. I think ultimately they never really lost the war. I mean, they never really lost any wars. It would have taken another maybe century, I think, for me to really feel comfortable giving them the victory, because they needed a lot more development. They needed a lot more things to happen in their favor before something like that happened. But I really liked Indiana. They looked good. They were, you know, very expansive, and they constantly picked good wars. Consistently picking good wars. So that was good for them. I'm surprised that Virginia is so high on the list. Victoria was never going to get much higher than that. They probably were never going to win because they weren't colonizing. So that's kind of unfortunate for them. Nevada at 311. British Columbia, who could have done better and better, 294 in terms of development. And they probably, if they continued to have successful wars against California, they had one very successful war against California, even though they were the defender, they could have probably taken a lot of strength from their neighbors to the south. Here's Wyoming, pretty low on the list. I mean, the area that they dominated in was not a very highly valuable area, but still kind of cool. I mean, there you can see they looked pretty good. But let's go ahead and check over just a few more categories. In terms of score, who ended up winning the score game? Who knows about that? I don't know. Indiana ended up winning the score game. So that's kind of cool. Well, that's kind of ironic. Huh. Maybe the score, I don't know what the score calculates then. Yeah, I don't know how the score has been the score is just technology. I was like, maybe they're also looking. Maybe the score now looks into entertainment value or something. I don't know how they would look into that, but but that's the thing. I mean, this small little state here, also Mexican state, also was at 274 in terms of score. So, I mean, again, I've never given the victory in terms of score. It is kind of reassuring, though. It's nice to see that Indiana was so high on this list, but we can't give victory in terms of score. We've never done it before because we know how inaccurate it is, so I can't give it to Indiana now. Technology doesn't really matter. We'll check over the religion map mode real quick, but I do want to check on maybe best leaders in the world. Who had it in terms of states? We had Estado Mexico with the best leader, 11 pips. Not that good in North America, but, you know, that's fine. In terms of armies, force limit, biggest force limit in the world were the Ottomans, but that is not what I'm looking at. I'm actually looking at, boom, California there. Victoria is also a pretty big force limit. California, though, at 58. Victoria at 51, Ontario at 50. They were close to catching. And there's Estado Mexico. Really, really close to catching them. And there's Nevada at what was that? Nevada was at 42. Navies, let's check on naval force limit. So Denmark actually with the biggest naval force limit. That's interesting. Who would have guessed? Well, I guess most of their provinces are coastal, so that makes sense. Victoria actually has the biggest navy with 51. I don't ever put to value the force limit for navies because it's unfair, because someone like Wyoming would be at 0 because they have no coastal provinces, but it's still just interesting to look at. Victoria here, California not too far behind with 3 ships behind in terms of force limit. I mean, force limit, we have to look in force limit and their actual total is going to be different, but it's not really fair because they might have just gotten out of war. Victoria is obviously not in any wars anymore. Estado Mexico even had a pretty good navy. And there's Florida, which was Florida's biggest thing that they had on their side was their navy, but they never used it. That was the thing. They never were really using it, maybe besides against New England. But that is about it. Are there any other wars going on? I don't think so. Virginia was at war with New England, and they probably would have taken more away from New England. But yes, I absolutely love the series, and I really think that you guys do. did too. I think that the response was tremendous. I do want to definitely return to the series in the future. Again, of course, you know, the new expansion comes out, I believe, today, and for EU4, so I have to end this series. And it's unfortunate that I do, because it was really kind of getting interesting. But like I said, I will be definitely returning to this series in the future for sure. I had a lot of fun with it. Honestly, I think the game would have vastly changed if we went another century into it, but you know, that's just how some things have to go. Is I've got to move on. Europe ended up having a really interesting time, and I would have liked if Europe played a bigger role in North America. But you know, again, like I said, we'll definitely be returning to this. I had fun. I think you guys definitely had fun, and we'll be doing another AI only battle of this very soon. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Obviously, you know, needless to say, you'll see in the description below that we've named California the winner. So if you picked California, you'll see your name in the description below. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next series very soon.